Hello everybody, how are you doing today? And welcome back to the garden. It's another scorcher today. The temperature is supposed to be around 30 degrees. We'll see. We haven't had rain for almost 2 months, so the garden is really dry. I can't keep up with the watering and the hosepipe ban is not helping at all. But anyway, let me show you what I'm going to be dealing with today. Let's go. So let me start from the beginning and show you the veggie area. This was my onion and garlic bed. I harvested all the onions and all the garlic already. There wasn't much, but there was not much onion white rot as well. So I'm counting it as a success. But with all the drought, not much grew really. Those are the replacement plant, the second crop. Some zucchinis. I can see some fruits forming. I've been eating zucchinis like crazy every day. So those are fruiting nicely. I've planted some broad beans here on the edge of that bed as well. I don't know if they're gonna amount to much. It's really dry. As you can see, even with the watering, they just can't cope with the temperatures over 30 degrees. They don't like it. But we'll see. So I have this area just here, free to plant something. Those at the end are the potatoes. I'm going to be harvesting them today. Those are my permanent potatoes. They always grow back in that area. So after harvesting whatever is there, I'm going to leave one or two just over there at the corner, at the edge of the bed. Same with this sorry looking bed. These are my main crop potatoes. I don't think they're gonna do much more. The plants are dying, drying out. I simply can't keep up with the watering. So they are gonna be harvested as well. Well, thinking about it now, I think it's gonna be another potato harvest video. Surprisingly, the rhubarb is doing really well. And I'm not watering this side of the bed at all. And rhubarb is supposed to be a moisture water loving plant. Well, not my one. Looks like this one is a desert type of rhubarb. I might have a couple of them for some dessert today. But now let's move to the main garden area. And here we are. I don't even remember what was growing in this bed here. I think that was my main broad bean harvest. That's long harvested. Now we have some pumpkin and cocoa de pampoule beans growing here. They are doing well. I've planted some last of the potatoes this side of the bed. Looks like they are doing well in this heat. As long as I keep up with the watering, they are growing very fast. And the grape, with the weather we are having, I was keeping my hopes high. They are growing, but they are not the best looking grapes. I think I'm getting mildew on them again already. And we didn't get a drop of rain for weeks and weeks, probably 2 months now. That's not good. We'll see. I might still get some harvest out of this bush. Now, the strawberry patch. I gave up on it completely. It doesn't look good at all, but I'm sure some of the plants will survive. This bed needs redoing anyway. In the winter I'm gonna dig it all up, clear all the weeds and start afresh. So I'm not worried about that. There's another pumpkin. This one is actually a marrow plant, and a tobacco plant in the front. Lovely plant. It self-seeds here and there. I have a couple of them in the greenhouse as well for whatever reason. I don't know where the seeds came from. Smells gorgeous as well. But yeah, just behind it is a marrow plant. It's doing its thing. That can stay until it fully matures. And now the actually growing part of the garden is here. I have my giant sunflowers finally flowering. Surprisingly, they're about 3 meters high. And those are the same seedlings, same seeds that I planted in the main ornamental garden. And the sunflowers growing down there are maybe a meter and a half high. But anyway, so here is my early potato bed. I will be digging it out today. I need to dig around the sunflowers to harvest all the potatoes, so that's gonna be fun. Here in the midst of potatoes, I have some struggling, what are those? Elephant garlics or normal garlics, we'll see, we'll dig them out as well. With all the dryness and not much rain, they are surviving actually. I'm not getting any onion white rot. There's another random pumpkin here I've planted in the midst of the potatoes, so that can stay. It's actually turning orange already. And on that side of the bed are my French beans. I've been harvesting them for 2 weeks already. That patch in a corner over there, I'm leaving the fruits for the seeds, so that's going to be my seed saving section. But the rest of them are still growing quite quick. As long as you keep them watered, they keep on producing lovely waxy yellow beans. I thought I planted 2 types of bean, yellow and green, but it seems like all of them are yellow. No signs of green beans anywhere. Here are my climbing beans. On that side of the construction are runner beans. That's gonna be safe for the seeds. I prefer the runner beans not as pod, but as the mature seeds. It's much nicer, and the seeds are huge. Those here in the middle are my rattlesnake beans. It's not that much left at the moment. I harvested a bunch yesterday, but they are nice, lovely bean. All this coloring disappears after you cook them. They all turn green. But there are beans here and there everywhere. And on this end section, doesn't grow that well, but those are green French climbing beans. They are just starting to fruit now. Here, after the beans, we have the chard. It is really lovely. You can actually grow it as an ornamental plant. This is golden orange chard. And next to it are my beetroots. I haven't tried harvesting them yet. I don't know how big they are or how small, we'll see. I like to let my beetroot grow as big as possible. It's a bigger harvest at the end of the season, and I usually pickling them anyway, so the size doesn't matter really. Here are my ground cucumbers, the gherkins. Those gonna be all for fermenting salads. They're just starting to fruit. Here behind the greenhouse is some more of my pumpkins next to the bee colonies. But let's have a look inside the greenhouse, what's happening over there. Before we go inside the greenhouse, let me just show you quickly my, is it second or third crop of potatoes growing? After harvesting the previous ones, I've planted the seedlings in the big pots. And that's where we are at the moment. They are doing really, really well. But it's a struggle, like with everything else, to keep them watered. As long as you manage to keep the water going, the potatoes are growing as well. But now let's move to the greenhouse. Okay, the greenhouse is crowded as always, no matter what time of the year it is. It's getting crowded all the time. But I have my sweet peppers growing here on that side. That's doing well. The plants are starting to flower. Some of them are forming the fruits already. I've just noticed this one here. It's a pumpkin vine broken from the outside. That can stay here. This one here is my potted chili plant, overwintered. That's 3 years old now. That's my only chili plant. I'm not growing any more chilies this year. This should be enough. I have way too many chilies dried at home. Some struggling parsley plant. It's actually bolting. I'm gonna try to flower now. But I left it here as a herb. It doesn't do any harm, just growing on the edge of the bed. Those are important job for today. After clearing the space from the potatoes, after harvesting the potatoes, the cabbages really need to go in. The time is running out, so that's another job to do. And now on this side of the greenhouse are all of my tomatoes. They are forming already. Some of them are starting to turn the color. I can spot one of them over there. So that's going to be my first tomato. Probably tomorrow it's going to be ready to eat. As I said, there's some tobacco plants here as well. I don't mind them. I like the smell and I like the look of it. And they shade the soil a bit so it doesn't dry out that quick. The grape is crazy. There are fruits everywhere, even all the way down on the floor. The grape is doing really, really well. There are fruit clusters everywhere. I don't really want to touch anything much after touching that other infested grape, because this one is doing quite well. It's turning the color already, so it won't be long, maybe 2-3 weeks before I can harvest everything. I tried them already. The proper purple one are sweet already, but there's too many of the green ones still, so we have to wait. But here on the floating shelves, honestly, if you have a greenhouse and you don't have floating shelves, get some. I'm gonna link the video how I made mine. It saves so much space. Such a handy thing. But here on the shelves are my cucumbers, gherkin. Those are the exact same cucumbers that I have growing outside in the ground, but I planted 2 plants per pot here for early harvest. I'm not really getting early harvest. It's actually same timing as the ones growing outside because of the weather. It's so hot outside, but there's not much difference really. But I'm getting my cucumbers here in the greenhouse. So that's how the veggie garden look like now in the middle of the heat wave and the drought. So I think the plan for today is harvesting the potatoes and planting the cabbages. By the way, let me show you a project I've been working on for last few months, a bit of a guerrilla gardening. I didn't have time to film it, so I can just show you the end product. Come on, that's gonna be a surprise. Okay, so this is my veggie area, the part that you all know. But this year, I've been doing a bit of guerrilla gardening in the field just here. It's unused field covered with nettles and weeds. And since the spring, that's what I managed to achieve. I was running out of space in my own veggie area, so I started here. This is mostly zucchinis, pumpkin, some potatoes, and actually there's some sweet peppers here as well. All sorts really. The tomatoes, I left it sprawl on the ground. I didn't have enough time to tie them up or do any cuttings. We'll see how they're gonna do. Hopefully in this weather they're not gonna get blight, we're not getting any rain. The pumpkins are loving this ground. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but there are huge pumpkins all over the place. So yeah, this is my new Guerrilla plot. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna do some potato harvesting. The only problem is I need to avoid digging out my sunflowers. I really want to keep them. I like the look. So first of all, I need to clear this area. All the greenery can go. That can go on the compost heap, and then we're gonna start digging. But first of all, clearing. Okay, that was a bit of a fiddly job, but I'm done with the clear up. Now, only thing left is digging out the potatoes. I can see already some of them sticking out through the ground, but let's have a look what we're gonna get. I'm not expecting too much of a harvest with the weather we are having, but there should be something always. First of all, let me try to get rid of those garlic plants. Ah, that's a waste. There's nothing here. You know what? I'm not going to be bothering with the garlic. Probably won't be anything much here anyway, and I can get some while I'm digging for the potatoes. That's the main thing. We are getting some, definitely. Let me show you one. I think because of all the drought and heat, the potato is starting to sprout again. I can plant it actually. It's gonna grow a new potato plant. There's still enough time in the season. I might collect all the green ones that are trying to grow and do just that, or I can rub it off and keep it in the fridge for next year as my seed potato. We'll see, haven't decided yet, but some of them definitely going to be like that. It's a very strange growing year this year, but I am getting some harvest. Not that much really. It's a good thing I'm growing some potatoes in my containers, because it looks like the ground potatoes do not amount to much this year. It's not like I'm not getting anything, but I was hoping for much more than that. I can feel the heat building up already, and it's only 9 o'clock in the morning. So I think after harvesting this bunch, I need a break till the evening, afternoon, and I can plant my cabbages in this spot. Well, I think I started complaining too early. I am still getting proper harvest. Maybe it's good to have a bit of a wind to get the garden producing. I'm sure the main issue with the harvest this year is the drought. I just couldn't keep up with the watering this year. I just spent like an hour soaking this area yesterday, so it's easier to dig. But that just shows you how much time it takes really if you are not allowed to use hose pipe. Stupid restriction, pointless really. But anyway, go and have a guess how much I'm gonna get from that area. It's about, what is it? 2.5 by 1.5 meter. Okay, so I think that's it for that patch of potatoes. It took me 40 minutes altogether, roughly. I need to show you this one. It's the weirdest one I managed to dig out, and it's huge. I thought that was 2 potatoes, but it's not. It's actually one joint here. It's cool looking monster potato. It's starting to grow on the exposed bit, but as I said, that can be saved for next year. I might just cut it off and eat the potatoes. It's perfectly good. It's not really green yet, just on the tips. But yeah, that's my monster weird potato. Okay, and here we are, my early potato harvest. It's not as bad as I was expecting. We're getting quite a nice harvest. A third of a wheelbarrow, not bad really. I have another bed of main crop potatoes growing over there, but that needs to be harvested later, probably later today. I might do it off camera, or I might just do a time lapse and tag it at the end of this video. But yeah, the potatoes are done. The bed is almost ready for planting. I just need to level it up and move that pumpkin somewhere, so it won't interrupt with my cabbages. But yeah, that's for later, for the afternoon. But for now, this part of the video, that's all. I'm gonna go and have my breakfast now. I need coffee desperately, but it's almost 11 already. Why is it always taking so long when you're filming anything? But anyway, the potatoes are done. The cabbages are waiting. Oh my god, I can see a cabbage white butterfly in the greenhouse already. That's not a good sign. They definitely need to be planted today and covered with the fleece. But yeah, for you it's gonna be few seconds. For me, probably a couple of hours. I'm not planning to work in the heat of the midday. I'm gonna wait till the afternoon, most likely, or tomorrow morning. We'll see. But anyway, I'll catch you back here in a sec. Well, that's a rather pitiful harvest for the main crop potatoes. It's actually less than the early white variety, but not to worry, I have more of them growing in the pots, and there's another lot growing in the ground as well for my third or fourth harvest this year. We'll see how it's gonna go. But I can understand why all the farmers around me are pumping their waters daily on the fields. Simply, it doesn't grow if there's not enough moisture in the ground, and I couldn't keep up with the watering, especially in this bed. It's further away from the water source. But it's not too bad with the white potatoes. I just have to separate all the slightly greenish one. There's not that many of them, handful only really. I'm gonna put them in a paper bag and in the fridge, in the bottom drawer. They're gonna be my seed potatoes for next year. And same with the red potatoes, all the worst looking one. They were actually, some of them, they were actually wilting soft in the ground. That's how dry it is. But anyway, the potatoes for now are done. I'm gonna put them in the paper sack and store it in the workshop. But now, let's try and sort out the cabbages. Okay, so this is the bed I want to be working with. That's where the early potatoes, the white variety, were growing in. I just need to level it up. After harvesting the potatoes, I soaked it quite a bit. I use 5-6 watering cans on this piece of land. As I said, it's not that big. It's maybe 2.5 by 1.5 meter bed. It's still quite dry, but after soaking it, it's much easier to rake it and level it. That's what I need to do now. So we'll see how many cabbages I can fit here. I'm growing green cabbage, Golden Acre, I think the variety is. It doesn't grow that big, so I can fit quite a bit here. And whatever I have left, I'll try to fit in the other bed where the main crop potatoes were growing, the red variety. As I said before, it's not that close to my water source, which are my water baths from the greenhouse and the tank in the ground here, just next to the greenhouse. So this area here, close to the water, is getting most of the watering. Anything further away, getting less and less watering, which is not ideal for the weather we are getting this year. But without further ado, let me level this whole ground and then we can start planting the cabbages. The soil compared to the soil in the other bed is like night and day. This is so nice, soft and crumbly. Native fen soil. You don't really need to do anything with it. It's just like growing stuff in the compost. But for whatever reason, the soil in my other bed, close to the wildlife pond where my red potatoes were growing, it's still clay soil for whatever reason. The amount of compost and chicken manure I put in it every year, and it's still not changing. Reminds me of my London allotment. Horrible soil, but it still gives me a nice harvest every year. Well, not this year, but I'm blaming it on the drought. I have that pumpkin marrow growing here as well. I want to save it. So that's kind of restricting my growing area. All right, I think that looks good enough. What do you think? Let me get the cabbages and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so here we are. The bed is ready and I have my cabbages here. As I said, I'm growing the red cabbage. I forgot the name of the variety. If I manage to find the variety name, I'm gonna put it on the screen somewhere here. I got the seeds from the Real Seeds catalog. It's a nice organic online shop. Same with the green cabbage. It's called Golden Acre. It's a fast growing, nice cabbage. Doesn't grow huge, but it's a fast grower. So there's plenty enough time for it to grow here. So as I said, I will plant the green cabbage here, and whatever I have left gonna go in the other bed where I was growing the red potatoes. But first, let me just space the cabbages where I want them, and then we'll see where we are. I am placing them in this diamond type pattern, just staggered rows, really. The green cabbage doesn't grow that big really, so it doesn't need that much space, but still, it's a brassica. It does enjoy some freedom to grow. I think we might be lucky and we can fit in all the green cabbage here. It's like an obstacle course here. I have to keep in mind as well, I will be putting the fleece netting over the cabbages, so I don't want the bed to be too wide because the fleece have to cover the whole bed. So I think about a meter, around a meter wide is good enough. I have one spare, I need to fit it somewhere. This should do it. As I said before in the previous videos, I'm quite stingy on space. It's a small garden. It's less than 100 square meter. Not counting my Guerrilla garden, but that's a different story. Okay, so that's the spacing I have. All the red cabbage need to go in the, rake. Never put rake like that. When you step on it, it hits you. Okay, so we have our cabbages spaced out here. Let me quickly count 9, 12, 15, 18 cabbages. It's a bit tight, but they should grow. Anyway, most of them, well, all of them gonna go for sauerkraut. So the green cabbage spacing is sorted. They should be all right here. They don't grow that huge. They should fit in here. I just need to put them in the soil and cover it with fleece. And the red cabbage gonna go in the other bed where I was growing the red potatoes. Well, happy coincidence, red with red. But yeah, let me try to plant it out, and then we can think about fleecing and covering them. They definitely need planting. The root ball is getting root bound already, so they will appreciate extra space to grow. There's nothing to it really, just make a hole and put the plant in. And with the cabbage, with any brassica really, remember to firm it well in place. I'm noticing some of the cabbages are getting munched already by something. I can't see any caterpillars yet. I'm hoping those are slug damage, not the caterpillars. The time will tell. If it's only slug damage, they should be alright. The slugs don't do that much damage really when the plant is growing actively. But the cabbage white caterpillar can decimate the whole plant in no time. I must have mentioned it before in the previous videos, but it's such an important thing to get the rotation going in your garden. Try to always have some plants on the go, in the pots, in the containers. So every time you harvest something, every time you get some space open, you can plant something else. It doesn't really matter if it won't work, if it won't grow. There's nothing to lose. You don't want your ground to be bare and open. The soil doesn't like to be open. It likes to grow stuff at all time. So just remember, every time you harvest something, try to plant something else or even sow some other stuff. You can still grow plenty of things, radishes, French beans, any salad. You can still plant from seeds. Or if you were diligent and you are keeping an eye on your calendar, you should have your replacement plants ready. It's a very funny year to grow this year. First time in a long time we are getting proper real drought. Not exaggerated on the news. Usually it's just a scare story on the news, but this year it's a real one, sadly. But the plants are still surviving, kind of. They are not thriving like they're supposed to, but we are still getting some harvest. Well, the heat-loving plants actually are enjoying it. All the pumpkins and zucchinis are crazy productive. It's only the usual English moisture and cold loving plants like all the salads, all the brassicas are struggling. But as they say, overcome and adapt. That's all about gardening. All the brassicas you can plant slightly deeper than they were growing in the pots. They will grow roots along the stem. And if you, a bonus, another potato. And if you got your seedlings leggy, that's the way to fix it. Just plant it as slightly deeper. Okay, we are almost there. 3 more plants to do. Okay, so the cabbages are planted. Now I need some support for the fleece. Actually, I'm going to be using Enviromesh, not a fleece. It's almost the same thing anyway, but the Enviromesh lasts much longer. I bought my one 5 years ago, I think, and it's still perfectly fine. The fleece would be done by now anyway. But yeah, now I need finding potatoes still. But now I need some support for the fleece. I will be using those PVC piping. I need 3 or 4 of them. God, the soil is so hard on the edges when it's dry. It's hard to squeeze it in. Okay, so we have the support ready. Now I need the Enviromesh. Give me a sec. Okay, I got my netting. Fingers crossed it's gonna be long enough. I don't want to use the really long pieces. Let's have a look with this one. I might be lucky. No luck. Let me get the bigger piece. Okay, this one will definitely fit. It's like 10 meters long. I just didn't want to use it really. Seems like a waste when I have the smaller piece. When you're growing cabbages like that, just make sure there's no gaps in the covering at all. For whatever reason, the cabbage white butterfly is a magician. It can find the smallest gap really. So it's quite important to keep it well covered. Otherwise, your all hard work will go to waste and you get your cabbages nicely munched and eaten by cabbage white caterpillars. Just like that. Make sure it's tucked in all the way to the soil and they can't crawl underneath. Because if they can, they will. Okay, and Fort Knox for the white cabbage is done. Now it's only the red cabbages left. They need to get planted in the other beds, but that's gonna happen tomorrow. I need to soak that bed make the soil softer. It's way too hard to work with. So they're gonna wait till tomorrow, but it's gonna be exactly the same process like here. I don't need to show you that anymore. You saw how I was planting my green cabbages. Now I'm gonna water it really well, and fingers crossed I can keep up with the watering, otherwise it's all gonna get wasted again. It's really hard year to grow anything this year. Okay, so I think that's all I have for you today. Just the potato harvest and the cabbage planting. It's not too bad with the potatoes. Half a wheelbarrow. I was expecting a bit more, but I still have the potatoes in the containers growing just there, and there's more in the ground just behind me. So I'm still gonna get a bit more. If I get some space open, I might still plant some more potatoes. They take about 3 months to grow, so there's still space. I'll see, I haven't decided yet. But for today, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you back in the garden very soon. Bye!